So I was just talking to Long Beach State's coach.
Good.
He said, you guys are the older sister, they're the little sister. But as long as you're in the same family, then that's a good thing. So what do you think of that statement? How do you see Southern California women's basketball as kind of a family right now?
Well, I see Southern California basketball as wanting to set the curve in the nation for women's basketball, and so we all have a contributing role to that. And so I really respect the job that Long Beach is doing, marketing the game, getting people to come out for it. We have respect for them. We fear no one, we respect everyone, and that's Long Beach State included.
How important is it to get those Southern California teams on the schedule between like Long Beach State, Pepperdine,
Yeah.
Poly?
Yeah. And every year we've had UC Riverside in the last couple of years. And, I just think when you want to grow a sport and you want to go to new levels, you have to take off your institutional hat and you got to work together. And that's what this year, the schools that you mentioned in Long Beach, Cal Poly, obviously USC, Pepperdine, we've got to work together to garner more and more interest surrounding our sport. And honestly, it starts with you all, covering it and garnering up interest about it and telling the stories with it. I think it's really, really important.
Coach, from two favorite women's hoops world, Big Ten opener up at Washington. What did you and the team learn about yourselves from that game?
That your feelings can't dictate behaviors. Bottom line is we did not play as well as we needed to. And everything is just excuses if you can't show up with your attitude, your effort, and your concentration. Credit to Washington. They're a really good team. We have a lot of respect for them. But we did not give our best effort. Not in rebounding, not in defensive intensity, not in focus, not in selflessness. And so we've got to turn that around immediately.
So what have been the focus points in practice this week?
Well, there's a bunch of technical pieces. We've got to set new screens better. That's a big thing. Rebounding has been the number one, though, emphasis. First time all year, maybe the first time in a couple of years that we've been out rebounded like that. And so that's been absolutely the most important thing. The challenge has been we've actually been in final exams, so we actually haven't had very many practice days. We've really only had 2 practice days, and so that's the challenging piece of that. But you can do a lot with just commitment and focus and make it pre-deciding that you're going to be different, and that's what I expect from our team.
No, go for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know defensive rebounding is a big thing for you, and it seemed like you were coming down pretty hard on that specifically today, but who are some of the players who are really doing what you want to see in terms of defensive rebounding?
Well, I really, honestly, I don't care if there's one individual. It's doing a good job if our team isn't. And so I could pick out a lot more who haven't been than who are, and so the reality is for me is the people wearing UCLA across their chest all need to be better. Both sides. Defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding, creating extra possessions, getting passion plays, doing the selfless, gritty play. We played against Washington like we wanted to be the pretty team instead of the gritty team. And that is unacceptable. That's playing to our talent, which we've already said, and Lauren said on ESPN last night. That is our floor. That is a bare minimum expectation that we have talent. Everybody knows that. What is your character? How hard do you push? How much are you willing to grow? How gritty are you willing to be? That's all I care about, and I want it from every single person that puts a jersey on.
Coach, besides the offensive go-tos, secondary support scoring-wise, what's your message to those players to keep them engaged in what they can do and impact their game?
Well, I think every time about this time of year, those roles start to really get embedded. But no role is more important than the other. You need to be the star in that role. You need to be, whether it's a Lauren Betts who we play through, or whether it's somebody coming off the bench and creating extra possessions and really doing a great job. And I've said several times, we have 8 starters, I don't care about who starts. I care about what combinations work best for that particular matchup and who's going to help us win. But I think the reality is that at this point, you've probably earned what you've earned in terms of freedoms and shots and what are your best shots. And now it's really defining those and you being willing to be consistent and really take a lot of pride that I can count on you in that role, even if it's not the role that you would pick for yourself first.
Coach, 3 weeks at number 1 in the AP poll. Team feeling any pressure with that top ranked spot?
No, we saw ourselves as a top championship level contender far before everybody else put a number to it. So no, I don't feel any pressure that way, but I do think the fight has to be that we don't play to a number, we don't play to an opponent, we play to a standard. And how much discipline can we apply to playing to the standard, to committing to getting better? And if that was easy, everybody would do it. And the bottom line is, I think that's the growth step that human nature would say, take a deep breath. Human nature would be like, well, I don't have to go that hard for this particular win. But are we playing for human nature, or are we playing for championship habits and those standards? And that's really what I think we're going to have to fight against in this new role.
How familiar are the girls with the history between UCLA and Long Beach State? Because before, in
Yeah.
the 80s, it was like...
I'm very familiar because I played against it when I was at UC Santa Barbara and those phenomenal teams. It wasn't UCLA and USC leading national basketball at that time. It was Long Beach State. At that time, they were the 49ers. But they have incredible history. And honestly, I really need to educate. They deserve their due because in a lot of ways, they raised the bar for women's basketball that then brought other schools like UCLA along. And so they have a really important place in our history and growth. But yeah, they have a lot to be proud of in their legacy that they walk in.
And then one more quick one. I know you don't want to talk about yourself probably, but if you get this win, you'll be the winningest coach at UCLA. How cool would it be to get it at a place against a team that you have so much history with?
Well, honestly, just to be able to say thank you to Billy Moore. She's not with us anymore. We lost her to a battle with cancer. But I remember specifically I was playing at UC Santa Barbara, and we were driving down to UCLA playing against a really good Billy Moore team. And one of our fathers called Erica Keenest, I literally remember like it was yesterday, and called this young lady and said, do you know who Billy Moore is? Do you know what she's done? She was an Olympic coach. She was this. She was that. And I remember thinking like, wow, I mean, this is a woman who's like she's it, you know? And so it's with great humility that I have a chance to even coach in the same place, to be talked about in the same language. And it gives me a chance to say, thank you, Billy. Wherever you are, I hope you're looking down and we are representing your sacrifice as well, because she did so much for the sport. All right?
Thanks.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you.